Hello, hi ladies. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I can't believe I used that statement for the first time. Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're gonna be joining us from. This is Wakili. Oh, and Kali, because let me tell you guys something. So today we're actually gonna do something a little bit different. I'm not gonna do my hair on camera because I already did it. So what I was thinking we were gonna do today is gonna be like a little no makeup look, you know, that makeup look that we could use to go catfish this niggas on the first date. Speaking of the first date, as I do this makeup look, I'm gonna tell you guys a little story time about my first boyfriend who got my friend pregnant. Dun 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 dun. I'm a weird person. Deal with it. So before we begin, I usually start with a toner. This is a Kiko Milano. I'm not even gonna struggle with it. So I start with a softening toner from Kiko Milano. So we're just gonna spray this all over our faces. Y'all know the purpose of a toner, right? I don't really know, I just use it. So oh, that actually feels really good, feels really light, and I actually prefer a spray toner as opposed to the ones that you gotta put in a cotton pad and start rubbing it in your skin. I prefer a facial spray toner. I don't know, it's just my preference. You can use whatever you want, but usually this is what I use. Now we're currently having winter, so my makeup during the summer and my makeup during the winter is actually quite different. The products are different. So for today's video, we're gonna use Maybelline and Essence products because I feel like they bring out the best in my skin for winter time. Usually during the summer, I use mostly Fenty Beauty products, but for winter, I prefer to use Maybelline and Essence. So after using the toner, I use another facial spray. This is like a moisturizing facial spray. It's actually a Turkish product. It's from Turkey. My friend got a bunch of them for me, and so I don't really know where you would get this if you wanted to get it, but yeah, I use this as a second one on my face. Don't forget, the first one was a Kiko Milano toner. The second one is this moisturizing spray. And just let my face soak in all of that goodness while I give you tea while sipping tea. Oh, so anyway, back to the story time. So this was my first boyfriend, fresh out of high school. Now here's the thing about me. I am a workaholic. Like, I do be overworking sometimes. Well, not sometimes, more like all the times. I'm a workaholic. So immediately fresh out of high school, I already had a job. So Simnajatu, like you guys know in Kenya how the system is. We finish high school, we have 1 year off, and then we're gonna join university. You get what I mean. So basically during that 1 year that people do computer classes, driving classes, French classes, German classes, all kinds of classes that are not actually university classes. That 1 year I was working. So I was working and doing classes as well, right? So I used to do French classes at Alliance Française like every other person who's fresh out of high school in Nairobi. Nairobi, we are so fucking predictable. I use the F word. I really struggle to give you guys stories without cursing because I curse a lot. So we're gonna use a simple I don't know, the light is too much. I don't know how to show you guys this product, but this is Simple Hydrating Light Moisturizer, 12 hours moisturization. So This is my moisturizer of choice. I would have primed my face, but to be honest, I ran out of primer, so moisturizer it is. So we're just gonna moisturize and get into it, yeah. So like I was telling you guys, this story time. So that time, my job, I was a personal assistant for an entertainer in the country, a well-known entertainer in the country. I'm not gonna say who the entertainer is, but like, so I'm putting on some eye cream as well. I'm not gonna say who the entertainer is because he probably is gonna watch this video and then he's gonna be like, why are you talking about me 6 years later, you know? So I was working as his personal assistant, and at the same time I was doing them French classes. So there was this girl in my French class who was always asking me like, why are you always in a hurry? Because you know, I'll get to work at 8 a.m. in the morning. I'll have work until probably around 11, and then I'll go do some classes at Alliance, and then I'll just be rushing out of Alliance Francais really quick to go back to work. So she was like, why are you always in a hurry? Because if you've ever been there to do any subject, obviously it would just be French, it wouldn't be any other subject. So if you've been there, you know that the people would finish classes and just chill and vibe over there, right? Now I didn't have that luxury because I was working, so I was always leaving the place really quickly. So one day this shawty asked me, why are you always in such a hurry to leave? And I'm like, oh, because I have work, because I'm working. So shawty goes like, oh really, where are you working? So I tell her where I work. She happens to know the entertainer. She's like, oh my god, I actually want to meet him. She didn't sound like that, but you know. I want to meet him, I'm interested. And now the entertainer was obviously male, and the kind of entertainment that he was doing, that he still is doing, was like that industry was dominated by males. So, and he also wanted me to learn about what he was doing, but I really wasn't interested. I was just there to get the bag and go home. I didn't really care about what he was doing. So shawty was like, I would love to meet him. I was like, oh, it's cool, I'll let him know, and then I'll let you know when you guys can meet. She was like, all right, cool. So I go back to work. I talk to said boss. I tell him about this shawty that would like to meet and learn from him. He was excited, obviously, because females wasn't really doing that kind of thing 6 years ago. Excuse me. So he's like, cool, you can bring her by tomorrow. So I called shawty. I'm like, so shawty, I made an appointment for you with my boss for tomorrow. Does tomorrow work for you? She's like, yes. Oh my god, you are such a savior. Oh, damsel in distress. I am a weird person. I have weird sound effects, so y'all just gonna have to deal with it. So like, the makeup mirror is directly in front of me, so if I'm telling you a story and I'm looking over there, just know that I'm looking at the mirror. So anyway, I introduced shawty to the boss. The next day they hit it off, and shawty was older than me, so you can imagine she was already enrolled in university and stuff. So from that point onwards, me and her actually became very close because we were meeting at school, we were meeting at work, we were basically seeing each other every day. I was sharing my chicken with this girl. Now let me explain the chicken situation. First of all, minim luya. Secondly, I am allergic to every other kind of meat, so I only ever eat chicken. The gods were good to me. They were like, girl, it's okay, you can just have chicken, you know. So I only ever have chicken. So I love my chicken. I don't play about my chicken. I don't share chicken. But I used to share chicken with shawty every day. That's real love right there. My own best friend doesn't get to eat my chicken, but you know, that's love right there. So what did I do? Now listen guys, I'm gonna use this KKW lipstick as a color corrector, also as a under my makeup kind of blush. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. You don't have to do this, but I usually do this. It's actually kind of dark, and I do have some acne spots around this area that I like to cover up. And so I use this KKW lipstick as a color corrector. You don't have to do this. You can trust the process, by the way. And yes, I can absolutely multitask and mix this 10 million stories together. Y'all just gonna have to deal with it. So this is probably gonna be a very long video, but it is what it is. So as I was saying, I would see Shawty every day. So she and my boss were kicking it. If you know, you know. So anyway, but she didn't like admit to kicking it with my boss. However, I was his personal assistant. I always had his phone. I would take pictures and videos of him at work. I would have to edit it because I was also the social media person by then. So one of these times when I was like, doing my job, I happened to come across a picture of the said girl and my boss, they were. But I obviously didn't tell them that I knew. But once they see this video, they're gonna know that I knew. So anyway, it is what it is. So Shawty goes like, I want to introduce you to somebody since you introduced me to your boss. I was like, who you want to introduce me to? She was like, I want to introduce you to this chef. Now let me tell you guys something. I'm a sucker for a man who's gonna make me a good meal. I have 3 necks. That just tells you how much I love food. So she goes like, I'm gonna introduce you to this guy, and I think you guys would hit it off. And I was like, all right, cool. Keep in mind, I'm fresh out of high school. I am the epitome of naive at this point. I'm 19. I have not even turned 19 yet. I'm still 18 and something. So we're gonna use the Maybelline Fit Me, Maybelline New York Matte Plus Poreless for normal to oily skin. I have extremely oily skin, so this works perfectly for me. It's shade 335, so I'm just gonna go into it and do my face. So like I was telling you guys, so Shawty tells me, I want to introduce you to somebody. I was like, all right, cool, no problem. So she gives this said somebody my number because I am a person who has extreme social anxiety. Like, I'm not good with meeting new people. I will take my time. I will talk to you a whole year before I meet you. So she gave the said person my number. The said person started messaging me, and we were going back and forth on messages every day for about 2 months. So one time he tells me, like, what time do you get off work? And I'm like, I get off work at 6 p.m. Somebody's calling me. Somebody's calling me. We're just gonna edit that out because I don't have time to like answer it and then restart filming again. So I'm gonna edit that out, and if it doesn't edit out, you're just gonna hear my phone vibrating. So anyway, like I was saying, Shawty said, she introduced me to the person. I was speaking to the person on phone back and forth for about 2 months before we actually met. So please don't call me again. Please don't call me again. Okay, we're good. So I was speaking to the said person back and forth for 2 months before we met and everything. So he asked me one day, what time you get off work? I'm like, I get off at like 5 p.m. So my office back then was Ilkopalede and Kimathi Street, like directly opposite from Hilton. So he goes like, let's have coffee at Hilton. 19-year-old me shattered. I was like, what? Coffee with me at Hilton? I had never been to Hilton prior to that, right? So this guy goes like, let's have coffee later on at Hilton when you get off work. I was like, all right, okay. So he picks me up. We go to Hilton. We have coffee. Now, I am a kind of person who reads a lot of novels, a lot of romance novels. Like I just read a lot of novels. So in my head, my 19-year-old self is literally living this novel dream. So this man, he was older than me, obviously, because he was about the same age as the girl. So he goes like, I want to court you. I'm like, say that again? Knight in shining armor? Court me? Okay then. So I should have considered this as a red flag, to be honest, at that point. But let's just blame age. I was young. Let's just blame age. So I didn't think about this as a red flag. So this man, on the said day that we met, he took me out for coffee. Same day, he asked me to be his shorty. I obviously said yes because I was dumb AF by the time. So I said yes. And then on the same day, he introduces me to his mother. Why did I think that was cute? Why did I think that was cute? Why did I think that was not a red flag? Anyway, so we finish coffee. We take a walk. At this point, this man is using words like court. I'm dying. I'm like, oh my God, this is absolutely the Edward to my Bella. This is my knight in shining armor. This is my future husband. That is what is going on in my 19-year-old head. We just had coffee. You just asked me to court you. Well, you asked to court me. You're taking me to meet your mother. We're taking an evening walk in the CBD, 1980 romance novel. You cannot tell me anything at this point. Hakuna kitu utaniambia nisikie. So, this man, he takes me to meet his mother. His mother was a realtor. So I go meet his mother, and in my head, I'm like, he's so serious about me. In my head, I'm like, this nigga, he's so serious about me. He just met me. He asked me to be his girl. He took me to his mother. Yeah, we're getting married. Literally. Like, this is my man. Hmm? What are you attempting to tell me? You can't tell me anything. You can't tell me anything about my man. About my knight in shining armor. Me. Hey. About the Edward to my Bella. You cannot tell me shit. So this nigga, by the way, something that is very important to note is that I was the V word at that point. I wasn't having the S word. So yeah. That is very important. Now, that is important. You're going to find out later why it's very important point. So, like, this man, he goes like, yeah, I'm cool. I'm easy to wait. No problem. I'll wait till you're ready. Girl, I'm livid. Mimi, wacha nikwambie. I'm living my fantasy right now. All the novels that I have read are finally paying off. This man and me, we're going to be wewe. You can't tell me anything about my man at this point. So I'm using Essence concealer. This is Camouflage. So matte concealer as well. So like, yeah, like I told you, during the winter, I use a lot of Maybelline and Essence because I feel like they work best for me during the winter. So yeah, we're just gonna conceal. This, I feel like this makeup would be really nice for a first date. Like, it's not too much, it's also not too little. Iko tu hapo katikati tuseme hivyo. Hey man, the light is so bright. Can you guys even see me? Mnaniona kweli ama na shine kama globe? Gilobu mkamba. Anyway, so back to my story time. So this man, we are talking every day. When I tell you, I would wake up in the morning to the most beautiful good morning messages, and he knew that I'm an early riser because unajua traffic ya CBD. If I need to be at work at 8, I'm gonna have to leave my mother's house at like 6 a.m. So I would wake up at 6 a.m. and find the most beautiful good morning messages. And no, he was not Luo. Mimi, I was a princess, baby girl, Jaber, a girl Toto. I was living my dream at this point. So this man, keep in mind, I'm not having the S word with him. So one time, I get like really sick. Like, nilikuwa mgonjwa. Like homa ya Nairobi ilikuwa inataka kunimaliza hiyo siku. So my boss tells me, wewe fanya hivi, just come to work, ulete, bring the office keys, because obviously I was the one opening the office. So I was the only one who had the office key. So he was like, just bring the office key and then you can take your time off to go home till you feel well. Then you can come back to work. I was like, okay. So me, I'm texting my knight in shining armor, my soldier. Like, I'm really sick. I'm going to just pass by the office and return the office keys. And then I'm going to go to the hospital and then I'm going to go home. Who's my knight in shining armor? Who's my Jesus Christ, my savior? This nigga drops everything that he's doing. He comes over to take me to the hospital. So basically he's waiting for me at the lobby of my work building. I go upstairs to leave the key. Then the girl, you remember the girl who introduced me to him? The girl, obviously it wasn't something new for her to come by the office because she was there literally every day. She was learning after all, so it wasn't nothing new. So she comes to the office. I'm seated in the office waiting for my boss to get there because my boss still had not got there. So I'm waiting for my boss, and then she comes to the office. She goes like, do you have 5 minutes? I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. Are you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. Just wait for me for 5 minutes. Keep in mind, she saw my mans. Mubaba wangu. She saw my mans in the lobby. So she knew that he was waiting for me. So she goes like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. So she goes to the bathroom, and after like 5-10 minutes she comes out. I thought, me baby kusema kweli nilifikiria na denki. So I was like, msia kidenki yoka kwa choo, so it's really not a big deal. So apparently hakuwa na denki, alikuwa anapima mimba. So she comes out, she's like, yo, shorty, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, now who the fuck knocked you up? Language. I'm like, sasa wana nimekupea mimba surely. Shorty looks at me dead in the face and she's like, I don't know who I've done the S word with in the last 6 weeks. Now listen to me. We don't do no judgments here. I support any and all thoughtivities. Any and all thought activities. Activate your thoughtimus prime 5000. I am for it. But what you're not gonna do is tell me you don't know who your baby daddy is. We are females. We're always gonna know. So I laughed because this was actually funny. How you don't know? How do you know who your baby daddy is? You know who your baby daddy is. Maybe I was like, maybe she's like scared to tell me. I honestly thought the baby daddy was my boss because, you know, they were kicking it. But then again, thoughtivities zilikuwa mingi tuseme tu hivyo. So I'm like, alright girl, so what we gonna do about it? What are we, like, I am like, as if I am even involved in the pregnancy, but I'm just being a good friend, being supportive. Tutadu, sasa tutadu. And I know that the mother of this girl is like so strict, so I knew for a fact she's not gonna keep this hata kana imimba. But I'm like trying to be a supportive friend. I'm so sick at that time. I'm like, sasa tutafanya. She's like, you just go home, go to the hospital, we'll figure it out. I was like, yeah, sure girl, if you need anything, give me a call, you know. Ride or die. My ride or die days are over, baby. Hang it up. I don't do that ride or die shit no more, because I just be dying. I just be dying. And y'all just be riding. I just be dying. I can't be dying no more. I can't take it. So I get taken to the hospital by my knight in shining armor. He pays for my hospital bill. Way. I was living my best life. You couldn't tell me anything about my man at this point. At we saw your man somewhere with someone. That must have been his twin. That cannot be my man. What are you talking about? Mubaba wangu, Mimi. Mimi, who I hit the jackpot with my mans. No way. I know y'all lying. I know y'all jealous. You ain't seen my man. You saw somebody else, and you just trying to pin this on my man. But you know what? It's not finna work. I was one of those. Ooh, thank God my clowning days are over. Cause nearly clown. So I'm looking for my setting powder, but I can't find it, so I'm just gonna contour first and then I will set later. I am using the Essence Soft Touch mousse in the shade 56 Matte Hazelnut. So this is what it looks like. This is what I use to contour my face in the winter. So let's just get into it, yeah. So anyway, like I was telling you guys, this is Toro. So me, I get taken to the hospital. My man pays my bills, takes me to eat, make sure I eat, takes me home. This whole time, this man's Tuseme tu, he's my knight in shining armor. Tuseme tu evil. This is what I thought. I thought I met the one. I thought this is my husband. At 19 years old, I knew that I was gonna marry this man. Well, was I wrong? So anyway, I go home for about a week because yo homa ilikuwa imenilemea, wacha niwaambie, because I'm asthmatic. So homa ikikuja inakuja na cousins wake wote. Like it was like I was on my deathbed, sis. And every day this man's would literally mi nilikuwa naishi Umoja, alikuwa naishi mbali, tusemeni tu hivyo, like he was staying very far, and he was a chef, so he would like bring me all kinds of different soups every day to make me feel better. Girl, I hit the jackpot. You was not gonna tell me nothing about my man that I was gonna listen to. Huyu mbaba mwenye anatoka huko kote anakuja kuniletea. And we have not done the S word. Where you cannot tell me anything. Stacy, you have suffered. Wakili, umepitia mambo. So anyway, this man, for the whole week, he would come to see me every day, bring me homemade food that he made for me with chicken soups and everything to make me feel better. I was the only girl in the world at that point. At least that's what I thought. So I get back to work about a week later, right? And then when I get back to work, my boss tells me, can you call this girl and ask her to bring back the things that I gave her? Now that felt a little bit personal to me. I was like, if you gave her those things and I wasn't involved, why would you call me to get those things back for you? That is so weird. You can do that yourself, you know, because it was like personal things. Why would you ask me to do that? I mean, you're my boss, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't listed in the fine print. It was not listed. So I was like, you call her. Then he goes like, don't argue with me, just call her. I was like, all right, cool. So I called her. She brought the stuff. And when she was leaving, he was like, ask her to never come back here again. Well, I was like, well, damn, I don't have to ask her because you yelled. The whole world heard that. She's definitely not going to come back. So later on, I'm like, during the lunch break, I'm definitely going to ask my boss what's going on, because when I left here last week, y'all was all lovey-dovey. You know, y'all was literally, just a minute, I'm literally looking for, okay, I found it. So when I left here last week, y'all was living y'all best life. Y'all was literally, you know, to what it looked like y'all was in love to me. So what changed? So during a lunch break, I asked my boss, I'm like, what's going on? You know, the last time that I was here, you guys were like super okay. So I don't get it. Like, why are you so mad? Why are you talking to her like that? Did she do something? He goes like, this shawty's pregnant, and she's trying to like pin it on me when I saw messages on her phone of who she's actually pregnant for. And I was like, okay, so who is she pregnant for? We were having lunch at Sizzling Grills. I will never forget that day in my life. When I tell you, my boss said, some chef. Nilisikia roho imetoka hapa ikaanguka kwa matako. Roho yangu ilianguka kwa matako. I was like, what do you mean some chef? You're like, yeah, some chef over there got her pregnant, and I saw the messages on her phone, and she was like trying to pin it on me and stuff. And she asked me for, money to get rid of it, because I was having an argument with her, like, don't get rid of my kid. And she was like, no, I want to get rid of it. So she was asking him for money to get rid of it, but he ended up seeing the messages on the phone talking some shit like, you got me pregnant. So the girl telling the actual baby daddy how she pregnant. And when I tell you guys, so I was like, I already know who he's gonna say, but I want to hear it from his mouth. So I'm like, by any chance, do you know the name of the person? He mentioned the name. I was eating chicken, Nilishiba, because tell me why my knight in shining armor had gotten my friend pregnant. Tell me why my future husband, the father of my intended children, had gotten my friend pregnant. Tell me why the man who was courting me I have suffered. I have suffered. If it's about suffering, I have suffered. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna leave. Cause yeah, I'm gonna leave. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bitch, it was lunch break. I left. I went to get drunk. And the whole time, these two people are speaking to me like they haven't seen each other's genitals. This girl is really talking to me like my man's genitals was not in her mouth and somewhere else that we're not going to mention on camera. This man is really talking to me like he didn't put his genitals in my friend. They both knew this whole entire time. This week that I was off from work, they knew that she's pregnant. They knew that she's pregnant. And I'm just... Anyway, so I left my boss there. I went to Galleria. I don't know how you call it. Do you call it Galleria or Galleria? However you call it. So I went to I call it Galleria, I'm sorry. So I went to Galleria. Korungai. Nikaenda nikalewa, and then I called my friend to come pick me up, another friend obviously, to come pick me up, and I went to his house and I slept. I took a nap, and then nikarudi soba. Then I went back home. I didn't go back to work. So obviously my boss was calling me like, girl, what's going on? So I was like, oh, we're gonna talk about it tomorrow, don't even worry about it. So I went home. So the next day I came back to work, and my boss was asking me like, you were acting hella strange yesterday. You left us in the restaurant. What's going on with you? I was like, yeah. So that chef? He's my boyfriend. My boss was like, you know what? Yeah, let's go drink. So again, this second day, we left the office. We went and had a drink. And we were like, tumechezwa. Tumechezwa, you guys. So now the confrontation was literally the epitome of everything. This is a very long video, I'm so sorry, but the confrontation was literally the epitome of everything. I can talk for hours. I'm a talkative person. So I text this man about 4 or 5 days. I still haven't confronted the lady. I text this man about 4 or 5 days later, and I'm like, is it true? He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, don't even try to play me like that. Is it true? He goes like, babe, what are you talking about? I said, nigga, You knocked up my friend? Is it true you knocked her up? He was like, now who told you that? I was like, did you or did you not do it? So then he starts to come clean. He's like, I don't do drugs, I don't drink, I don't smoke, but the S word is my drug. So you really wasn't having it with me. So yeah, I've been having it with her. Saniko, like, at this point I'm not even offended at him mekwa mkinini. Lakini mnanini nyama kwa nyama. So y'all don't know shit about protection? Like nyama kwa nyama. Guy. What's nini waambie? Dating in Nairobi is an extreme sport. And I haven't been there for like 4 years now. So I can only imagine if this happened to me in 2015, I can just about imagine what's going on in the dating field in Nairobi right now. Because that was some BS right there. So this guy goes like, yeah, it's true, I'm so sorry, but you know what, babe, if it was you who got knocked up, I would ask you to keep it because I'm in love with you and I think we're gonna have future children. It's the audacity for me. Like, what are you talking to me about future children right now when I just caught you getting another woman pregnant? Like, are you okay? Like, is your head working correctly? So after I confront the guy, I go ahead and confront the girl as well. And I'm like, so when was you gonna, let me know that you was rolling around the sheets with my mans? And she goes like, I never intended it to go this way. Girl, you intended it to go some way because it went. It absolutely went. It went all the way in. It went all the way in. And then the audacity of this girl, Aki was telling I'm gonna audacity. The audacity of this girl. She even dares to, like, because I was working and she wasn't working. She was in school. So she goes like, do you think you can spot me the other half of the money to get the abortion? And I was like, hey, I have suffered. So I asked her, why you don't ask your baby daddy? She goes like, my baby daddy just gave me like half the money, so I need the other half. And I was just there like, wababa, 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 gay, wababa. What? Shawty really goes like, he just gave me half the money and I obviously can't ask my mom for the other half. Alafu akwenda kununua matembe kwa chemist kama kila mtu. Alienda Mary Stops, the expensive area, which was obviously smart because it's safe to do it from there and it's also legal to do it from Mary Stops. So we can't just, we gotta give it to her. We gotta give credit where it's due. So she goes to Mary Stops. Mary Stops is a little bit on the expensive side. So Shawty goes like, yeah, so I'm gonna need you to spot me. I'm like, so hey, yani tushare mubaba, tukisha share arudi akupe mimba nyama kwa nyama, alafu mimi na yeye tushare bill tukutolee mimba. we nimepitia. Mtoto wa engineer umepitia. Mtoto wa engineer umepitia. Kama nikupitia umepitia. I was like, are you kidding me right now? Like, are you seriously kidding me right now? This shawty really, hey. Yani ati to share bill ufanye fetus deletus. You must be mad. You must be mad. As a matter of fact, you must be mad. It is madness that is inside you. Cannot tell me anything else. It is madness. Yani udem ananiambia mimi ushalala na chali yangu amekupe mimba, alafu unarudi unaniambia mimi nifanye nini? Nikuchangie utoe mimba ya chali yangu. Juu chali yangu amekupatia pesa nusu. At this point obviously si chali yangu, but I just need you to understand the gravity of the situation. So I was just there like, girl, I'm sorry, I can't really help you out. Yeah, both of y'all can figure it out. When y'all was, rolling around the sheets, I wasn't there. I wasn't involved. Why you want to involve me in the fetus deletus? No, I'm not going to get punished by God for y'all crime. So y'all should just, go ahead and figure it out, the two of you. So long story short, I never spoke to either of them again, and that was my first character development fresh out of high school. My man got my friend pregnant. Character development, yani eh? Ushaika chini unajiuliza tu, Mungu wangu wewajua sababu kwa nini niyapitie haya. I didn't cry because girl, we gangster, we don't do that. So I didn't cry obviously, but I was like, yo, this is really how it be dating in Nairobi. Okay, so let's just say it's safe to say I would rather slit my throat with a spoon than date in Nairobi right now. Kama he experienced ilikuwa 6 years ago. I can only imagine what the date life in Nairobi looks like right now. Na mimi kusema kweli, I am silk. I don't take no tension, so that is definitely not something that I would be doing. I wouldn't date in Nairobi right now. Watch out to Ikai. So I'm using the Fenty Beauty lip gloss. So yeah, like I told you guys, this is just gonna be a simple no makeup look that took 40 minutes because of a story time. Why do I look like a crackhead on my lips? Look at that. Wait. The light is so bright that you can't even like see this look properly, but anyway, it was so fun to tell you guys this story time. I'm gonna try to edit this video to fit less than 40 minutes, which is obviously not gonna be possible, but I'll try to have it up by tomorrow. Story time muhimu, you guys. Story time muhimu. I look mad cute, to be honest. I look so beautiful. Oh my god. Girl, I could marry myself right now. Damn. Look at that. I have big eyes, so imagine tabditu menizoya. And look at how long and luscious my lashes are. I have a lot of hair, like on my head. I was about to say in my head. Kizungu. I have a lot of hair on my head, obviously on my eyebrows. You can see like my eyebrows are like really thick and bushy. So are my eyelashes. But yeah, it was really nice to give you guys this nice story time for 45 minutes. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I found out that niggas ain't shit. So anyway, I'll see you guys next week. When we learn to take care of our crowns, possibly do another story time because I'm getting more and more comfortable on the camera. So yeah, thank you so much for joining. Bye. Mwah.